Okay, guys, module 4.2 still. These are the questions and my answers, all about opinion. Again, not enough of you were posting. I got 27 questions. I have about 150 students. Makes me pretty sad, but I'm going to proceed because it's Thursday and you have an essay due on Sunday. So here we go. Question number 1. For our opinion, do we have to choose either military personnel or shouldn't drink, or can we pick both or explain both, the good and the bad, in the same essay? No one said you're doing that. Actually, I don't even know why you would ask that. That was my example of how to use opinion: the good, the bad, the yes, the no, the right, the wrong. And frankly, I can come up with 1,000 different essays that answer the prompt question. Okay, I only used that example as the way to teach the O in SOAP. Your prompt question asks, how or why is being an educated member of society important? You're supposed to pick your society and pick the kind of knowledge or education. In 4.3, I believe, you do your thesis exercise, and then your first draft is due. You should all have the template to download, and I am expecting you to use that template exactly. You save it onto your desktop and you fill in the blanks. That's all I'm asking you to do. Where it says who, you write a sentence about who. Where it says where, you write a sentence about where. Where it says why, you write a sentence about why. Topic sentence number 1, topic sentence number 2, topic sentence number 3. I'm not looking for a lot of creativity here. I want the template followed. I want you to show me that you understand the structure. The essay is not about drinking age. Okay, it's about education within a society or knowledge within a society, your choice. Number 2, we have to choose who our audience is going to be before we even write question mark. I typically, that is a student picking up a packet. So I'm going to start over, let you in. I'll be back. Okay, so now that I've given another student a packet, which everybody should probably try to pick up if you need one and you don't have a printer, here's the next question. Our opinion on the topic is spoken through our perspective pretty much throughout the whole essay, question mark. For our 3 provable reasons, we have to provide evidence along with that to back up the reasons, right? Yes, yes, and yes. So let's say that I am going to write this essay using different triangle. And I'm going to write it from the perspective of a single mom. And I've been one before. And I'm going to say that obtaining a degree is useful because of financial, INACI, financial security, lifestyle, and breaking bad cycles and starting good ones. So there's my thesis. Perspective is S, and my opinion is that obtaining a college degree is useful within a family society because it allows for financial security, lifestyle, and breaking bad cycles, starting new ones. Okay, so then my body paragraphs under financial security, I'm going to talk about income. I'm going to talk about savings. And I'm going to talk about retirement. And I'll find quotes for each of those 3. For lifestyle, I'm going to talk about entertainment, housing, and believe it or not, diet. Fruits and vegetables are expensive. Fresh meat is expensive. It's much cheaper fast food and canned food and frozen food, right? So when you have a good job and a college degree, you can afford better diet. When I talk about breaking and ending cycles, I'm going to say ending the cycle of poverty, ending the cycle of abuse, and beginning the cycle of educated living. And again, I'm going to find quotes. Now, these quotes are not going to say what I'm saying. They're going to support and show what I'm saying. This is my opinion from that perspective. Next question. Are most of these principles applied in each paragraph of an essay? Absolutely. 5 principles of academic writing: intro, conclusion, strategy. Within an essay, it's title, reference, grabber, echo. Within a paragraph, it's topic, sentence, transitional sentence, opening, framework, and wrap up. So intro, conclusion, strategy, does it exist in both paragraphs and essays? Yes. Framework. Do you have framework everywhere? Absolutely. This is a small talk. Even when we meet people, we have framework. We don't say, hello, you wanna. We say, hello, what's your name? Do you want to drink? Do you want to dance? Do you want to hang out? And then you get to the you wanna, right? So that framework exists in every context. Thesis statement. We speak in thesis statements. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We study, go to class, and do our homework. We take a shower, read a book, go to bed. That's a thesis statement, right? 3 items, and I'm going to prove it through action, through evidence. Next one. In lecture 2, you state that you would not choose your second opinion since the paper's point would not be completely objective. However, could a student write a strong personal topic without appealing to subjective? Of course, if you can control your emotions, go for it. I think that I could write about my brother's death. It's been, many years now. He died in 2011. So can I talk about vet suicide? Do I deal with vet suicide? Absolutely. I'm a vet. I have vet friends. I have vet students. This is a real topic that's on the table every single day, and I can talk about it objectively, academically, professionally, and non-emotionally. Should you write an essay that makes you cry? Probably not. Should you write an essay that other people can't read? Probably not. Should you write an essay that you don't want to be told or shared? Probably not, because once you write it, anyone can read it. Remember, reader and audience, not the same thing. Next one. It says, do we address the essay within the essay who our target audience is? So we talked a little bit about that. That's implied. So from a single mom's perspective, if this is my opinion, I have a couple of choices for audience, right? I can talk to my adult children about why they should go to college. I can talk to my single mom parents who are students about why they should not quit, why should they proceed. I can talk to my neighbor and try to convince her to start school. I can talk to Congress about making some kind of single parent grant and say, hey, look, if you help single parents start school, and this is why you should, the outcome in the future would look a hell of a lot better, not just for them, but for the town they live in, right? So I pick the audience that can be directly stated or implied. Does the thesis have to be only one opinion, or can it be a provable fact? Within the thesis is your opinion and its provable facts. My opinion is single moms do best when they obtain a college degree. My provable facts are the financial security involved, let's say the difference between high school diploma and master's degree, the difference in our savings account, the difference in our retirement options, lifestyle, what we eat, where we live, and of course cycles, right? We know that teen pregnancy is a cycle. We know that poverty is a cycle. We know that abuse is a cycle. But so too are good stuff. 3rd generation college students whose parents and grandparents went to school, who are all working professionals, know no other life. And so that is also a positive cycle, right? So these are my provable points within my thesis, one sentence that says it all. Not the subpoints, the major points, right? Okay, let's see. It says, in your second lecture, you said we should distinguish the good as well as the bad parts of the opinion we choose. Would I mention every perspective in my essay, whether or not it goes against my opinion? That's the pre-work. SOAP is about the choices you make before you start writing. No one who's reading my essay ever knows or sees these choices. Think about a wedding or a quinceañera. All of the choices and decisions that go into making that party happen. What colors, what flowers, what food, who's going to sit at which tables together. That's all decided before people walk in. The people who walk in only see the party. The essay is the party. SOAP is about the choices you make before the essay happens. Is the essay only about one opinion, or can we choose both? Look, I want you to pick a thesis, and a thesis is about provable reasons for a specific opinion. Now, in the framework, before I get to the thesis, can I talk about the counter ideas? Absolutely, if you want to. If that answers your who, what, when, where, why, how, important, interesting, relevant, history, dates, terms, absolutely, talk about it. Some people think this, other people do that. This town does this, La Quinta does that, Palm Springs does this, however, blah, blah, and blah. Indio chose to have a campus in our neighborhood because 1, 2, and 3. That would be education within a community, right? Formal education, if you will. But your thesis should only be one opinion. Okay, next. When talking about opinions, I know that sometimes opinions can come out as bias, but is there ever a time when your opinion should not or can't be biased? My opinions never come out as biased. I state it as a fact with provable reasons. Is it my opinion? Yes, but I leave out the bias words. I never say, I think, I feel, I know, I'm writing about. I leave me out of it. I simply say, single moms who obtain a degree have financial security, choice with lifestyle, and the ability to break and make new cycles. That's it. Is it biased? No. Can I prove it? Yes. Is it my opinion? Yes. But you don't say it as I think, I feel, I believe. Okay, next one. Do the provable reasons have to be based on statistics and cases, or can we use personal experience? I am using personal experience, aren't I? I went from living in a car poor to having financial independence and freedom. Now I live in a 6 or 7 bedroom house, depending on how you count it, 4 bathrooms. Yeah, that's personal experience. But am I going to tell my personal experience? No, I'm going to use statistics and facts and evidence to explain. Now, I don't need 3 quotes per paragraph. I can simply say that those with higher incomes have a choice in where they live. But I probably would still bring in the point that to rent an apartment is only $600 a month, and to own a large home might be $3,000 a month. And which one you get to choose is highly dependent on your income. But still specific stuff, and it's evidence-based. I understand that we need 3 provable opinions as well as a counter opinion. When we have 3 opinions, no, it's 1 opinion. 3 provable reasons for 1 opinion. And the counter opinion is so that you know you're arguing what you can. Okay, for the audience part of SOAP, you said that the reader should still know what's going on in your writing, even if they aren't the audience. So when writing should we try to get the bare minimum of context so that the reader knows the situation enough to understand it? Yes, that's the point. Context is the point of framework. Grabber, question, fact, statistic, statement, humor, sarcasm, drama, dialogue. That's your grabber, right? According to my audience, I pick one. So for a single mom, adult mom, I'm going to pick, let's say, a statistic or a fact. And then in my framework, I'm going to build the context of the conversation. Who's involved? Where do they live? Why does the topic matter? How is it important? How is it relevant? What's in the news? What's its history? What terms am I defining? Family, community, education, degree. These are all my way of building the conversation so that my reader can follow along. By the time I get to the thesis, they know what's going on. Next, how many perspectives can be in an essay? 1, we talked about in the last video. Is there a maximum, or can it just be 1? 1. Why are you overcomplicating things? Nobody needs to hear more than 1 voice at a time. Have you ever been in a room and there's 100 voices and you can't follow the conversation? You don't want your essay to read like a crazy, chaotic room. Give them 1 voice, 1 conversation, and prove your points. When it comes to conclusive reasoning, can it be both statistics and personal? And how would that be formatted? So long as you're writing in 3rd person and you're backing your conversation up with provable points, evidence, observation, experience, and measurement, then you should be fine. Just don't say I. Can we ever talk about 2 opinions? Again, if you want to talk about counter opinion, the best place to do that is in the framework before your essay begins. That way your essay and the introduction are not competing with their message. How can using the triangle method to formulate opinions, both negative and positive, help write a thesis? Well, it is your thesis, right? Financial security, lifestyle, and breaking and ending cycles. Now, the truth is, sometimes I have a 2-item thesis, the pros and cons of obtaining a college degree. And believe it or not, there are cons. You outgrow your environment, it's very expensive and time consuming, and it demands your full commitment. Those could be considered a con. The pros, in my opinion, greatly outweigh the cons. More money, retirement, skill set, security, reputation for getting things done, the ability to navigate different experiences, personalities, and people. It helps build open-mindedness and inclusiveness. You learn about history and how it applies to today. I can go on and on about the pros, but within an essay, that would be 2-item thesis, I would have as many paragraphs as needed under the pros and list them, and under the cons and list them. Remember, topic, sentence, and the number of paragraphs don't equal each other, right? The thing that have to match up is your thesis and how many topic sentences. So if your thesis is 2, your topic sentences is 2. If your thesis is 3, your topic sentence is 3. If your thesis is 4, which by the way would look like a square, then your topic sentences have to be 4. But under each topic sentence, how many paragraphs you use is up to you and how much evidence you're presenting, how long the page count should be. Okay, ready? Is the audience anyone who can relate to the topic of a person, to the topic the person's writing about? I don't care if they can relate or not, I can talk to them, can't I? And if they don't relate, then I'll teach them, I suppose. But yeah, I speak to audiences who already have something to do with the conversation. If I'm talking about surfing and you play soccer and aren't interested, then I don't know why I would pick a soccer player as my audience, right? I'm going to want to talk about, or 2 people either who know how to surf or who love surfing or who want to learn. Or city managers who are running the beach, or towns that have tourism. These are other reasons that I might pick an audience, right? Isn't it hard to come up with an antithesis since I can prove your opinion incorrect? Are we over the right and wrong yet? Why is it incorrect? If I want to prove that bananas are good, but I actually hate them, can't I argue both? Like, I don't like bananas, but I know they're good for you, so I can convince you why you should eat them, but I could also tell you why I dislike them, and those are 2 opinions from the same person, same mouth. I put them in smoothies. I like banana dried. I like banana chips, right? Those dried ones. I like chocolate dipped frozen bananas, but I don't like fresh ones. Gross. And so for me, that's multiple opinions from one perspective, and the contradiction is part of who I am. Everybody should have contradiction in them. The problem with America today is we think everybody's right or wrong. No, the right and wrong exist within all of us. I can know and be pro-gun and still know that murder is wrong and that we shouldn't have 30 magazine clips that can kill 100 people in a second. There's no contradiction there, actually. So to say, well, you're talking within yourself. These are choices you're making within yourself. Your reader is only going to see the one you pick. Okay, next one. Is finding out the antithesis important in an essay? I would argue yes. I think it is important because you want to make sure that you're not being biased, that you're being fair and open-minded and objective. And what better way to do that than to test your thesis and your antithesis against your own persona? We have to include both sides of our opinion like counter arguments, or is it more for an argumentative essay? Look, guys, everything in life is argumentative essay. All argument means is a conversation of provable points, and more specifically, a conversation of debatable points. So let's flesh the argumentative essay. That's something they teach in 9th grade. Okay, for the purpose of I don't know what. Every conversation is argumentative if it's debatable. Are bananas good? That's an argument. Should you go to bed early? That's an argument. Is there a problem with staying up late? That's an argument. Is our democracy in trouble? Well, it depends on what part of the country you're living in right now, right? That's an argument. But a well-minded, open-minded person can argue the best points of America right now and the worst points of America. I'm no dummy. I know that we're in trouble with the Supreme Court. I see it pretty clearly, actually. We have 3 men, 2 women. We're about to have 6 conservatives, only 2 liberals. That's very lopsided. A democracy needs that functionality, the push and the pull, right? So can I talk about the danger of that Supreme Court lopsided, both on the political divide, but also the gender divide? On the other hand, are we lucky to have a court? Absolutely. Would I rather live here than in Argentina right now? Absolutely. We are doing very well because our Supreme Court is only one echelon of the courts. We have all of the circuit courts. We've got all the state courts, the county courts, and all of them work together to send messages up to the Supreme Court. They set the precedents. So is the Supreme Court all powerful? No. And will things change? I believe in history they have. So can I, from my, whatever you want to call it, liberal California professor perspective, or my conservative Marine Corps perspective, doesn't matter which one, because I own both, can I say that the U.S. is in trouble and the U.S. is great? Of course I can. Can I prove both? Of course I can. And that's the point. I have to pick one. Okay? Next question. How do I know who is my audience? Anyone can read my essay. You pick your audience. Anyone can read your essay. You pick your audience. Who are you talking to? You're talking to farmers, to parents, to drivers, to skateboarders. You're talking to cat owners. You're talking to baseball referee, baseball coach, baseball fans. Pick an audience. I don't care who you pick, but it better not be me. I'm not your audience. I'm your reader. As for opinion, it is essay required to only have one opinion, or can we show both pros and cons? As we said, the pros and cons can be discussed in the framework. Your thesis should only be one. Do we directly address our audience? Since it's not necessarily the reader. I tend to. I am the type of person who says the Supreme Court should consider blank, blank, and blank, right, within a democracy. I am talking to the Supreme Court justices, and I'm telling them what they need to know. My audience then is directly stated. Single moms do well to obtain a college degree. Drivers have the knowledge of their car, the road, and the rules of the empire at the time. A cook has the knowledge of their spices, the dishes, and how different flavors contrast, and even something about visual representation, right? Or I could say a new cook needs to know about blah, blah, blah. Is this education within a society? I'm going to argue, yes, it is. These all answer the question. And to be fair, the most brilliant essay I've ever read is what kind of knowledge somebody needs to survive the zombie apocalypse. And it's talking to average Americans in Indio people. How do you survive the zombie apocalypse? And it talks about location, and it talks about mythology and weaponry, right? And it used geographical locations from here with quoted material. So the book says you need a cave, and then they tell me where in India there's a cave. It was brilliant. It was fascinating. It was entertaining. I definitely was not the audience because I'm not too worried about surviving the zombie apocalypse. But they did good. They picked an audience. They had a message, and they showed their provable points. That's the purpose of SOAP. This is behind the scenes work that we're doing. It's really important that you understand it. I'll see you in the next video.